Imagine being told that fruits are your enemy if you have diabetes. Yet, what if the very foods you were told to avoid could actually help you heal? That is the bold idea behind Mastering Diabetes, a groundbreaking book by Cyrus Khambatta and Robbie Barbaro that challenges conventional thinking about blood sugar control and insulin resistance. The book explores how reversing insulin resistance, not just managing glucose, is the key to lasting health. It combines scientific research, years of personal experience, and powerful transformations from people who used food as medicine. The root of the problem. Most people believe diabetes is caused by eating too much sugar. However, the authors reveal that the real culprit is excess dietary fat. When fat accumulates inside muscle and liver cells, it blocks insulin from doing its job. This condition, known as insulin resistance, prevents glucose from entering the cells, forcing it to stay in the bloodstream. In one study from the National Institute of Health, researchers found that intramuscular lipid buildup, the fat inside muscle cells, was directly linked to insulin resistance. This insight explains why even people who eat low-carbohydrate diets but consume a lot of fat can still struggle with high blood sugar. The power of whole plants. The authors discovered that a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet can restore insulin sensitivity. Foods like fruits, vegetables, beans, lentils, and whole grains contain natural carbohydrates wrapped in fiber, water, and antioxidants. These nutrients help glucose enter cells efficiently while reducing inflammation. For instance, a man diagnosed with type 2 diabetes switched from a high-protein, low-carb diet to a plant-based plan rich in fruits and greens. Within weeks, his insulin needs dropped, energy levels soared, and his A1C improved. This transformation was not magic, it was metabolic healing in action. Studies from top institutions like Harvard and Oxford have confirmed that people on plant-based diets have up to a 78% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who rely on animal-based foods. The truth about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are often portrayed as villains, yet Mastering Diabetes flips that belief. The book teaches that when you eat clean, natural carbohydrates from fruits or grains, they nourish your body instead of harming it. The problem is not the carbohydrate itself, but the fat that blocks its entry into cells. Consider this. Athletes who thrive on high-carb diets maintain stable blood glucose because their muscles are insulin sensitive. When fat is reduced, glucose metabolism improves dramatically. The authors explain that processed foods, oils, and animal fats damage insulin signaling, while plant-based carbohydrates repair it. So, eating a ripe mango or a bowl of oats is not dangerous, it is therapeutic when paired with a low-fat lifestyle. The 4 pillars of the Mastering Diabetes method. The system rests on 4 pillars that support long-term success. 1. Low-fat, whole food, plant-based nutrition. Focus on eating real, unprocessed foods. Prioritize fruits, greens, legumes, and whole grains while minimizing oils, animal products, and processed fats. 2. Intermittent fasting. Spacing meals improves insulin sensitivity and allows the body to process glucose efficiently. The author suggests mindful fasting windows rather than extreme deprivation. 3. Regular movement. Exercise enhances glucose uptake by muscles, reducing the body's reliance on insulin. Activities like walking, cycling, or strength training can improve blood sugar control almost instantly. 4. Mindful living and monitoring. Tracking progress, staying mentally balanced, and adjusting habits over time are crucial. Self-awareness is as important as nutrition itself. Real transformations. Thousands of people have reversed type 2 diabetes or dramatically reduced their insulin dependency using this approach. For example, a woman who had been on insulin for 20 years transitioned to a plant-based diet, and within months, her insulin dosage dropped by 80%. She regained energy and confidence, something no medication had achieved. Such stories are backed by science. In a 2018 study published in Nutrients, participants following a low-fat, plant-based diet showed significant drops in fasting glucose and cholesterol levels, proving that food can act as powerful therapy. The Science of Cellular Healing. The book dives deep into how mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, respond to food. When overloaded with fat, mitochondria slow down energy production. However, when fueled with whole carbohydrates, they thrive. This shift restores cellular energy, improves mental clarity, and stabilizes mood. In short, mastering diabetes is not about restriction. It is about reawakening your cells to function the way nature intended. Overcoming common myths. One of the strongest sections of the book debunks myths that have dominated nutrition advice for decades. Myth: carbohydrates cause diabetes. Truth: excess fat causes insulin resistance, not whole carbohydrates. Myth: you must eat animal protein to stay strong. Truth: plant proteins are sufficient when eaten in variety. They also come without cholesterol or harmful saturated fats. Myth: fruit spikes blood sugar. Truth: when your body becomes insulin sensitive, natural fruit sugar is metabolized efficiently without dangerous spikes. The mental shift. The journey toward health is not purely physical, it requires mindset change. The authors emphasize patience, consistency, and self-compassion. Progress is not measured in days, but in lifelong habits. Once individuals stop fearing food and start understanding it, healing becomes sustainable. A practical exercise they suggest is journaling daily energy levels and moods alongside meals. Patterns quickly emerge, showing how clean nutrition uplifts body and mind. The evidence from top experts. Dr. Neil Barnard from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine and Dr. Dean Ornish from UCSF have demonstrated through clinical research that plant-based nutrition can reverse chronic diseases, including heart disease and diabetes. Their studies align perfectly with the principles in mastering diabetes, validating its science-backed foundation. These experts highlight that insulin resistance can be improved within weeks of dietary change, proof that the body has an incredible ability to heal itself when given proper nourishment. The long-term vision. The authors do not offer a quick fix. They provide a lifelong framework. The goal is not only normal blood sugar levels, but full body vitality, stronger immunity, better digestion, sharper focus, and emotional balance. This lifestyle becomes a celebration of health, not a restriction of pleasure. The vibrant colors on your plate represent life itself, foods that energize rather than exhaust. Final takeaway challenge. Start by making one small change today. Replace processed snacks with fresh fruits or swap heavy meats for lentils and greens. Notice how your body responds. Reversing insulin resistance begins with awareness, grows with action, and succeeds with consistency. Mastering diabetes is not about fighting your body. It is about partnering with it. When you feed it right, it heals itself. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more insightful book summaries on health, longevity, and self-transformation. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next video. We are building a community of people taking charge of their health, fitness, and life. Be part of this journey. Like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe so together we can beat diabetes and live stronger.